northern Michigan.
With your dad?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
you
like,
call your dad Jimmy?
well, I'm not going to call him dad to you. Like,
That's right. Okay. Yeah. I could say my dad or anything like that.
Daddy took us up.
yeah,
to,
remember, Dad, he took us to.
That's hilarious.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Coming down in 3, 2, and 1. Vancouver Canucks defenseman Quinn Hughes joining us now. One word, Quinn, to describe your summer. I said, Quinn Hughes, describe your summer. One word. What's that word?
Fun sounds bad, but I guess I'd say fun. We had a fun summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, who's we and what did you do?
Like me and my friends in Michigan, my brothers. I don't know. We trained, we golfed, we went on a couple trips. We went to New York, went to Hawaii. Yeah, it was fun. We surfed in Hawaii first time doing that. It's a lot harder. It's harder than it looks, man. Like,
No, it looks hard, dude.
the waves,
It looks
like
hard to begin
getting
with.
out there is the hardest part. It's so hard to get out there. Like the waves just keep pushing you back. So it was fun. We were out there for a couple hours every day, and yeah, it's good.
See, that's a true Vancouverite. They love going to Hawaii. That's where they go on
Yeah,
vacation.
a lot of Canadians down there. Yeah,
Eastern people, we go to Florida. The Western people, they go to Arizona or Hawaii.
yeah, sure.
So
yeah.
that's good.
Then we're in New York. I got like 20 cousins and my grandfather down there. So we went there after the season. Then we went to the Hamptons for the 4th of July. That was fun as well.
So what's it like golfing with the Hugheses?
Not that fun. Like my dad, Jimmy, he won't talk. You won't get a word out of him. Like
Really?
Yeah.
Is he game 7?
He's game 7. He's down and he's trying to beat us. It's crazy, man. Like it's fun though. It's competitive. We enjoy ourselves. We just got into a nice course in Michigan, and it's actually right on our lake, so we can drive our boat or walk over, and we just hop over. Like we'll hop over every night, like 7, and the sun doesn't go down until 10 in Michigan. We'll just play like 13 holes. It's really peaceful.
Are you the best golfer, or who's the best golfer?
This is a touchy subject because last week our last round was on a Tuesday, and we were like, all right, this is the last round of the summer. Whoever wins this is the champion of the house and like the best golfer for the year. And I won it. I beat everyone. And then magically we were like, oh, let's play Thursday.
Wait a second, who said that?
Well, I wanted to play too. I'm not going to say, but it just opened up that like everyone was done packing or whatever. And we played Thursday and Jack shot the lights out and beat me. So he's the champ. Yeah.
No, but the thing is, this is what you have to do. Because I remember when I was a kid, I entered in a badminton tournament and I lost in the final. And the kids who beat me said, you want to play some more? Because I had fun in the match. I go, are we putting the championship on the line? He goes, no. I won the championship, but we can still play.
Yeah.
So you could have pulled that stuff.
Oh, I did pull
won.
that card. I said, like, what do you mean? There can't be 2 championships. Like, what happens if I won the one championship, you won the other championship? We're both champions. No, it's like whoever won the last round is what it is. I thought I was going to win. I played good too. He just outplayed me.
Oh, man, that would be tough because he's probably going to remind you about it all season.
Yeah, it's all good, though. I'm going to try to get out in van, golf a bit, too, this year. Be good.
Nice.
Chance to watch your brother Luke play the juniors?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he was really good, I thought. Those games start late, though. Now I know what my parents feel like watching me. But, yeah, like 10:30 starts. It's tough, especially when you're working out like 7, 8 a.m., and we watched. It was fun. It's disappointing they lost that early, though. And he got hurt. He's still not even skating yet. He's getting better. I think he's going to start up this week. But, yeah, really liked this tournament. I thought they had a good team, too. It's just, those one games are tough sometimes.
Anything can happen, man.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So you got out to Vancouver for a day.
Yeah.
Before you had to come back for this.
Yeah, I was telling you, like, I had so much stuff. I didn't want to, carry it here and then go to Van. So, yeah, I went for a day. Said hello to the boys and said, I'll see you later. They said, where are you going back to Michigan? I said, yeah, enough, you guys already. But it's good.
The thing that you said, I didn't remember. So Brock Boeser drives 32 hours to Vancouver every year?
I can't remember if it's 29 or 32. I mean,
close enough.
At that point, though, it's a big difference. Like, but yeah, I mean, he's got the 2 dogs, so he drives down. Yeah.
So did you notice anybody who looked particularly good or particularly out of shape or anything like that?
At camp?
Yeah.
No, everyone looks good. I mean, was really excited about the team this year. I think we added some good players, and we'll see what happens. Bruce, first camp with Bruce is going to be good, and yeah, it should be competitive, and everyone looks, dialed in. So it's exciting.
I wanted to ask you about Boeser specifically. He just did a really good story with Mike Russo about where he talked about how hard last year was, and you're in the room with him. He's not necessarily saying it in the public, but just how excited is the group for Boeser, like just after everything you went through last year, to be able to start fresh with a clear head.
Yeah, I mean, no one can speak on that situation. Like, I don't know what that feels like, but his dad was not doing well. And I think the thing with him is like, you see him in September and then you leave, and like Duke couldn't travel, obviously. So you don't see Duke until we play Minnesota. So the next time we played Minnesota was like in April, late April. And I think Brock couldn't believe like how, I don't want to say how bad he looked, but like how the situation was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was hard on him. And that's a terrible thing. And his mom's an angel and was doing amazing and was all at home alone with Duke. And then contract year's hard enough. Like I dealt with that a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, and that's enough pressure too. So with those two things, yeah, it's really tough. And I'm excited for him. I think he had a really good summer after everything that happened. He moved homes in Minnesota. I think he's excited. He's got his deal done. Mm-hmm. He really enjoys Vancouver. I know that. And I'm excited. I hope he has a really good year. I think he will. I think him and Bruce get along nicely. And same thing with Petey, tough start to the year last year, but then the last 14 games, he had 13 goals. And I think they're both just going to, take that going into the year.
Quinn, you like the thing that you had the contract stuff last year too, as you mentioned. I wonder, you sort of been around hockey all your life.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually came out really stupidly, but like you understand the business of it, I think, a bit more than a lot of other guys do. Do you think that helped you at all?
Yeah, it did, to an extent where I was like, not too worried about the contract. I was more worried about my game. Like, I wasn't playing that great. So I was like really uptight about my game, but not about the contract, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I was like, all right, if I get, like, I ended up getting 7.85. If I get 7.5 or 8.25, like, I'm still doing okay. It's basically just an ego thing at that point. So for me, I was like, all right, I'm going to be in that ballpark, and I can live with that, obviously, and I'm happy about that. For me, it was just like I was dashed, and I was like, Jesus, like, I wasn't happy about that. That was what was going on with my contract here, yeah.
Some players...
And another thing no one talks about is, like, that was when everyone dealt with this, but it was COVID year, and I would go to the rink, skate at 10 a.m., be home by 1, and you weren't allowed leaving your apartment.
Yeah.
So I'd be by myself from 1 to, like, 11 at night, and it's like... I'm American in Canada. All my family's in the U.S. So you're just sitting in your apartment alone, and that was tougher than anything for the whole season.
We talked a lot about that on this podcast while it was happening, and the one point that we'd always end up getting to was, this has got to be awful. Just to how you're talking, Quinn. This has got to be awful on young players.
Yeah.
Other guys have families to go to.
Yeah.
Young guys, early 20s, not attached, family elsewhere, can't go anywhere. Like, hockey's hard enough already.
Yeah.
A season's long enough already. The games are tough enough already. Then to have that on top of it, and that's all young kids that are just finding their way in the NHL.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like that was hard for sure, and like it's hard for everyone. I don't want to say like even though guys have kids and families, it's not hard. It is hard, but for the single guys, and we were just sitting in our apartment all day long. Our team got COVID. And then we did.
And you guys had a bad case. I remember
the whole team. Yeah,
really bad case.
So I was just sitting in my apartment 14 days, and I did that twice because to enter Canada, you do the 14 days, and then I did the 14 days during the year. And I actually had a great apartment. It was Troy Stetcher's place, and it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. But I was like, Stetch, sorry, I can't go back there. Like, I spent 28 days in there. Like, I never want to see that place again. And it was a beautiful spot. But I was like, I got to get out of here. And he's like, I totally get it. I was like,
it's, you talk about that. And I do think like in the Johnny Gaudreau situation this year, I had guys tell me that not only in the States, but in Canada, there were players who said, I'm going close to home. I'm going close to my family. Because if, God forbid, anything like this ever happens again, I want to be able to see them.
Yeah.
I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and your parents, no one could get over the border.
Yeah.
And like Jack was in New York, obviously, and I have like 20 cousins there. And all my family's there. And things were starting to open up there. So he was having his fun and they were doing their thing. And my parents were up there and I'm just sitting in van on my phone. And then, yeah, the COVID happened, the 14 days. So our season was pushed back. The Islanders in Pittsburgh were in game 3 and we were playing the Calgary Flames and we were both out of the playoffs.
We were playing the Flames like 8 times in 9 days.
How
It was
were
like
those games?
We call it the Mud Bowl. It was like, what is it, in semi-pro?
Yeah.
What do they call like the game at the end? Like the Flint Mud Bowl. I think that's what they're called.
The Flint Mud Bowl, man.
But we played them 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
And obviously no fans. And the playoffs were going on. And both of us were out of the playoffs. It was like, boy, oh boy. Like,
I'm surprised you didn't throw those ones.
here's the thing. So
contract year.
outdoor game, Edmonton Oilers, Montreal Canadiens, Commonwealth Stadium. It is freezing. It's like the coldest day of the year and they're playing this game. And as the story goes, and George Laraque told me this like on the record, this isn't like telling tales out of school. Laraque told me like the Habs went to the Oilers and said, guys, it's way too cold to hit. Like, let's not do it. And you go back and you watch the game, like it's a no-hitter. Like I would be thinking like if
That's
either
funny.
you guys or Calgary in those empty calorie games that are outside of contract situations that are kind of meaningless, do you say to yourself, let's just make sure we don't get hurt here?
It was tough. Yeah, I think that's the thing. No one wants to be an idiot, but like Petey was injured. We had a couple guys out. Like we didn't really have anyone playing. We were losing 5-1 in the second last game of the year. Going in the third, I remember Millsy just saying, "All right, we got like this is embarrassing." We tie the game 5-5. Imagine that. Like the game 2 is going on in the Islanders series. We're mucking it out. It's 5-1. It goes to 5-5. It was like a crazy game. Goes into OT. I don't even remember who won. I think they won 6-5, but it was a crazy game. I remember we were all like,
So
after-
JT Miller stood up and said, "This is."
I remember him
embarrassing."
saying to me, like, we're walking off the ice, like, "Hey, get going. Like, this is bad." And like we were all trying, but like it was just like a loose game, but it was funny. Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off. You said you were going to say you remember after what you're about that game. Okay.
I don't remember, but yeah, it's just that was a weird time, man. I remember just being really excited to get home at that point.
What, because we all had our expectations of what the offseason was going to look like for the Vancouver Canucks. Did you have any expectations of what Rutherford, Alvin were going to do in the offseason, and were you surprised at what they did do?
Yeah, I had no expectations. I mean, like that's not my job. They're going to do what they want to do, and I was happy with what they did. I didn't know the Kuzmenko kid at all, but I skated with him yesterday, and he's
How's he look?
really good, and the kid from Toronto too.
KF, yep.
He's so fast, and he's given me trouble in the past. But I think those are great additions. Lazar is going to be a great addition because
He's a great guy.
it's always been Bo that has to go take the D-zone face-off and sacrificing himself and like grinding it out in the D-zone, and he's too tired to go. And I think Lazar will be able to take some of that in Millsy too, and hopefully Petey can expand as well. But yeah, so I'm really happy with what they did. But for me personally, it was all about what I needed to work on in the summer, and they gave me things that they wanted to see from me, and that's what I was focused on.
What were those things? What did they tell you?
For me, I mean, I had a good year on the ice. Like I was happy with how my year went, and I think they were too. I think one of the things is for me, it's all mental. Like Roman Josi had 110 more shots than me, and I think that's a crazy stat. So for me, just shooting a bit more, but then off the ice, trying to expand as a leader, being at the rink earlier, working out, just being a professional and trying to expand my role on the team. I think that's what they want to see, and I think I'm ready for that.
So how do you do that? Like, what are they talking about with that?
Yeah, like it's not like something that you just change, and you don't want to be fake. Like for me, I'm always going to be who I am.
Yeah.
So doesn't mean I have to show up to the rink and be first to the rink, but just trying to be professional, working out like during the year, like keep maintaining my strength, eating healthy, like just trying to push it in any way I can to try to, get an edge, and then bringing my teammates along as well. I mean, I'm a younger guy, but going on my 4th year, and like I said, trying to expand my role a bit. I think that's what they want to see.
I'm actually a little surprised to hear that, Quinn, because in the limited amount of time that I've dealt with you, I've never thought you're quiet, you don't say a lot, but I can tell you cannot stand losing. Like you hate it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a little bit surprised to hear that that anyone would think that you need to do more of that, because you always seems that you do that.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. Like I love hockey. I'm always there. I'm on the ice early and last guy off the ice. Like I really enjoy it. For their aspect, I think they just want to see me try to be the best I can be in every situation, in every area, and I welcome that. And like I said, I want to be a leader, and if I'm doing those things, then I can ask my teammates to do those things and try to do the best at what they do. So I think that's where it comes from as well.
When you hear things like the Vancouver Canucks are doing this on the Hughes-Pettersson timeline, what goes through your mind?
I don't know. Like, I will say my first year was everything was perfect. It was like rainbows. I went in, I did very well. Yep. My second year, I struggled, not lost my confidence, but I remember going in the summer, I got to dial in, I got to have a better year. And I think I did that. But at the start of last season, I was nervous going into the year because I had no camp. And I remember my first game in Edmonton, I did not play well. And Greener was on me. My second game in Philly, I played very well. Third game in Detroit, I played well, but we lost 2-1. Fourth game, I was injured. Didn't play the fourth game. So I was nervous. And then I got it on the rails, and I had a really good season, I thought. And now I feel like I'm able to where I'm at a point where I can really push this thing and see what I can do.
Were you surprised Miller got re-signed?
To be honest with you, I was, because I didn't hear anything about it. Mm-hmm. I didn't talk to anyone, and I don't bring it up to Millsy because, it's his thing, and I don't want to be, he never asked me about my stuff, so I never asked him. And so just all the things you were hearing with the media was that they were trying to trade him, or he was, I don't know, whatever everyone was hearing. I mean, I was mainly hearing it from you, from your podcast.
I'm always wrong. Don't listen to me.
So I was listening to you, so that's... So then I was just on my phone one day and I saw that he signed, and I was I didn't know it was coming. So to answer your question, I was surprised, but I was very happy.
And Bo, do you say anything to him?
No, and that's another thing. Bo could sign today. I'd have no idea, but I'm hoping they get that done. I think they will, and they really like him. So
that's great. Quinn, thanks so much for doing this. Best of luck this season.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry I led you astray.
No, you're good.